Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. We are Trio of Positivity Podcast. Welcome in. We are a Chicago Bears podcast hoping to bring some positivity into your life. It's been pretty good, so I can't say the other line. I am joined by my other co-host, Miller, Bhupen. I am a co-host, Cristian. Boys, how are you guys doing today? It is a Bears Victory Tuesday that we're recording this episode on.
Did Bhupen just dab?
I did.
He
Wait.
did.
Wait, hang on. There was a video about I think it's been certain years since this couple of things came out, and it's a milestone for Dab. I think it's maybe 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, whatever. It's a milestone for Dab. That was one of the things on the internet I saw today.
Probably 10 years.
8-3, baby. That's all I gotta say.
8-3. Miller, is there anything you want to say?
8-3, baby.
That's it. Okay. All right. Social plug. This is kind of funny because I just realized on the last episode, I said the wrong socials, but I put it in the right format when I was editing. So you can find us on Facebook at Trio of Positivity Podcast or at X, which is the Positive Trio, not Trio Positivity. Actually, let me just come over.
Positive.
The Positive Trio. The Positive Trio. I don't know who came up with that. That's what we are. YouTube, Trio Positivity Podcast, and TikTok. We are now live 2 weeks in a row. And in my social experiment to find out if we're getting any follows or views, I am very happy to report we still have 0 views and 0 followers after 2 weeks.
Let's keep it that way, okay? End of the year, let's keep it at 0. That's what I want to do now.
We are going to keep it that way. Boys, we're going to start with a fun little segment that I have. What we started doing recently is we started posting more on YouTube. We're creating shorts. We're trying to get the engagement up. We actually have a couple comments. Some of these comments were replied to. Others we chose not to. But we want to give some props to the commenters that are out there. So we're going to start with the first one. Came from at 22TGA. He wrote this under the Steelers versus Bears prediction. He wrote, "Homeboy, definitely need a new team. Don't ever say you're scared as a Bears fan." Bhupen, how do you feel about that?
Oh, I love when people have amnesia. It's like friggin' 3, I don't even know how many years. We were way under 500. Everyone wanted to friggin' burn the city down, everything, fired coaches. We were firing coaches, firing GMs. Poor Virginia died. We did all that. They forget all that. They forget all that. How quickly. I have been cautiously optimistic, if I can say that. I'm not rooting against the Bears. I'm a realist, and we did not have a shot to win this game, in my opinion. But I was secretly rooting for them. But hey, I will keep rooting against them if that means they win.
That's still not going to count in our predictions. Our next comment, I hope I pronounced this correctly, at Kaja Louis. This was under the, "Was this a game-winning drive for Caleb Williams?" which got a lot of views, surprisingly. He wrote, "It would get counted just the same for any other NFL QB. It's just a stat." And you know what? You are absolutely correct. I think there was another quarterback that had something similar, and it counted as a game-winning drive. So I take that comment, and I still stand by it, but I am
And you're wrong.
I am wrong.
Yes, that's a short in itself right there, baby.
We're going to
be anything else except Cristian saying I'm wrong.
Post that to TikTok right now.
It still gets 0 views. Our next comment came from Joseph Thompson 2462 under that same video. So 7-3 is all I care about. Bear down. He is absolutely right. I think that's one of the statements. I will say though, boys, someone brought this up on Twitter. I don't remember who, or on X. Would we be saying the same thing if the Packers had the same schedule and they were saying, 7-3 or 8-3? Would we hate against those comments?
I mean, we always hate the Packers, so yes.
Do you follow the other teams close enough to know their schedule?
No, but they don't follow us to know our schedule either. So, I mean, it's the same concept.
Everyone's like memeing about how poor our schedule has been or whatever. So
Well, we
I
agreed with
guess I don't know that I would be saying anything, but I guess it would still be a narrative because you look at the Patriots and they have the same narrative as we do. I mean, they
Colts
have
had one
wins
too.
against not as much.
Not as much, but they did have a little
The
bit.
Patriots beat the Bills and then they beat Tampa Bay, so they have 2 signature wins, but they were talking about the same.
And the last comment from Chill Matico, which hurt my feelings. What is Triple Chin's japping about?
does he mean 1, 2, 3 chins? Hopefully.
No, it was mostly me. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure it was directed at me.
I'm sorry, buddy.
And you know what? I can't even give him hate because his profile picture is him doing a thing on a skateboard on a rail.
Grinding?
Guy's cool. Yeah, grinding, whatever the young kids do these days. So
Yeah,
those
you
were
sounded 90 when you fucking said that, but okay.
Yeah.
I had a board and on the wheels
and then I chased them
Get out my
outside with my
lawn.
fucking cane to get out my lawn. Those were the YouTube comments of the week. Please comment, like, subscribe. We might read them on our next episode. Boys, let's get into some football. What were your thoughts on week 12 of the NFL? For the love of God, let's keep it football related. Let's start with Bhupen. What do you got?
Yes, beyond just talking about football, we do bet football too, responsibly, of course. We this week we bet, and a lot of big favorites out there did not cover. So I did some very scientific research right before the episode started by quickly clicking through some scores. From what I gathered, the not the Sunday night game and the Monday night game, only 3 teams that were favorite, it seems like, covered. That was Atlanta, Jags, and Packers. I guess Bears too. That was very close, but Bears too. Those are the only 4 teams that covered or barely covered. Everyone else, the underdogs, covered the spread, including big spreads in like Tennessee versus Seattle. Miller will tell you all about how Giants covered against the Lions. So that was interesting, right? Like the lines, that tells me that our perception of the NFL, like this team is so much better than this team, like this far in the season. I don't know. I don't know if that's a little bit blurred or some of these lines are just way out there that they are not hitting anymore. That was my takeaway / thinking for this week.
Miller, what you got?
We could do baseball. You want to do baseball? What about
If you're going to talk
basketball?
about the trade for the Cardinals.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
We're gonna go talk about the Cleveland Browns here. I don't know if any of y'all watched Stefanski's presser after they got the W. It was quite hilarious. Now we all know this was Shedeur Sanders' first game as a pro, and we know the history going on with the Browns. Well, Stefanski decided to give a whole speech and proceeded to thank many people in the organization, including the punter, the kick returner, and he threw Shadeur's name in there, and he did this, and he gave away one game ball that went to Myles Garrett. So Stefanski really hates Shedeur Sanders for some reason, and I don't think anybody really knows why.
Well, okay. Before we go into anywhere, like Myles Garrett is having a hell of a fucking year. Like
He's going to break the record.
He's gonna
Against
get
the
all
Bears,
the game
probably.
balls. Yeah, like that's gonna be trouble. That's what, 3 weeks? 3 weeks? Yeah, I didn't watch the game, but I saw that he got his first win, and then to have something like that sucks.
I mean, he wasn't impressive by any means. He had 2
It's a
nice
win,
deep
though.
throws,
It's his
but other
first
than that, but
win.
it's his first career start, and
Yeah.
first career win.
I mean,
how many did they have this season?
Or
What,
second
3?
start. Second start,
No,
isn't it?
no,
Like,
this is his first start.
Well,
He came in.
He came
Yeah.
in and okay, yeah.
Well, two things. I had heard about that, Miller, but my interpretation, the guy I listened to said he threw everybody's name, including the kitchen staff, and barely mentioned Shedeur is what he said. You can tell me if it was right or wrong. But the second thing, Chris, I noticed is in this podcast, the only person that brings up the Sanders is that effing guy. He was talking about it in the preseason, and he was saying, oh, there's too much hype and too much media coverage about the Sanders. And the only guy that brings up Sanders on this podcast is Miller himself. A little hypocrite right there.
I mean,
I
got
didn't even
nothing.
follow your train of thought.
Yeah, you lost me there.
You were
No,
talking
no.
about the podcast, this podcast, and you're using one.
No. So like you brought up you bring up Sanders and their family like so often, and you hate how much coverage they get in the preseason.
Okay,
You're
hold
hating
on.
on that.
I will. Okay,
Oh, it
if we're
was?
talking
Yeah.
about Okay. Moving on, boys. Here's what I thought of week 12. The AFC South got very interesting. We have the Colts 8-3, Jags 7-4, Texans 6-5. It's gonna be, and I think there's a couple teams that face each other 2 times before the end of the season, like in the division, I believe, if I recall hearing what I heard. If not, I'll be corrected per usual. We thought the Colts were gonna run away with it. They are 1 loss away from, and Jags are 1 win away from tying it. They had a chance to get the Chiefs, didn't happen, went to overtime, and it became a whole thing. But I think that's going to be a fun little story that we're going to get into. Let us know in the comments what you guys thought of NFL Week 12. We might use it when we read the comments on air next week. Or actually, we still have to talk about the schedule, which we didn't talk about since we're in Black Friday game. But before we get to the game, we have to go to Bears versus Steelers over at Soldier Field. The Bears win 31-28. They continue to hold first place in the NFC North. This is now the second time this season that the Chicago Bears have won 4 straight. Giving you a couple of quick hitters on the stats. Caleb Williams went 19-35, 3 touchdowns, 239 yards in the air. The highest leading rusher for the Bears was Manungai, 12 carries, 1 touchdown with 48 yards. DJ Moore got 2 touchdowns on 5 receptions for 64 yards. My favorite stat of the night or of the game was Montez Sweat with 2 sacks. Let's get into some Pittsburgh numbers. Rudolph went 24-31, 171, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And Calvin Austin got 4 receptions, 36 yards on 5 targets. That's all I'm going to give them for that. But as always, we're going to start our lovely Bears recap with our favorite segment. Let's hear it.
It's Miller's Glazing Minute, brought to you by the Trio of Positivity Podcast.
Now I can sit here and glaze all day long, but no one wants to listen to that. Actually, I do, because 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. Like, come on, let's go. He's on pace for 4,000 people, but come the fuck on. Caleb, let's sit down. Can you throw a good pass consistently, please? I know there are good, you started really, really fucking slow. I am sick and tired of seeing the wide receivers fully extended across the middle or behind them, or their drops have been an issue. I will admit that, but the lack of accurate passing needs to stop. And to these wide open receivers, it's frustrating as fuck. With that being said, I believe this was Caleb's first game of having all correct reads. He may have missed a lot of throws to that read, but I don't recall seeing too many plays where Caleb missed a wide open guy, and that is what we call prep.
Well, he didn't get a chance to finish again this week. Would have been great to hear what we wanted to finish with, but we're not going to talk about it now. So, Bhupen, thoughts on his glazing minute?
How do you even calculate that? But kudos, he hit every, open receiver or whatever. But hey, the touchdown. DJ was wide open. He hit him. That was awesome. There was no one in like 2 miles around him. If I may slightly diverge, I don't know if you guys have followed this on the internets. There is a guy who on 17 September predicted the Bears season, and so far he's hit every game. He's hit every win and hit every loss, including the 4-game winning streak. And it's like a thing on the Chicago Bears subreddit. If you guys are familiar, you probably know already. Like, just want to give that guy a shout out. Like, Jesus Christ, like, we've tried to predict the game, and with ups and downs and how hard attacky Bears have been, it's so hard to predict the season, and that guy's nailed it. Do want to bring us down a tiny bit though. The next 2 games he's predicted losses, but we finished the game on a 4 games winning streak. So just want to throw that out there. Shout out to the subreddit, and I don't know. I think that was like pretty fascinating to see.
Tangent much?
Had
I
nothing
know.
to do with his glazing minute, but we're gonna move on. I have to agree with Miller. I think while his numbers look good, 3 touchdowns, only got sacked once, and a horrible end zone play. There were some questionable throws. The one thing I've noticed though, and Miller, you can kind of talk a little bit about it. It almost seems like that first drive is like a feeler moment where they're just trying to get the defense trying to feel them out, because I think the next drive they always seem to score, but that first one is just they struggle.
No, that's not true at all.
Like
The
remember
last few
earlier in
games-
this,
The last few games.
The last
Earlier
few
in-
games they haven't
earlier in the
scored.
season, we were saying we scored at the beginning of the half and end of the game. We didn't do anything in between. Now it's
Yeah,
like kind of
and now-
flipping. We don't do
yeah.
anything in the beginning and end is better. But hey, important thing is we're winning. But anyway, go on.
National media is getting a lot of attention on Caleb, and Dan Orlovsky seems to have a lot to say about Caleb. And one of the things is that he's making the right decisions, which, as an NFL quarterback, yeah, you kind of have to do that. The one thing that he did point out is that on the play action stuff, he is throwing to the designed play. And there's multiple examples where there was a play action, and as soon as he turned around, he just darted it. He didn't wait for to see if he was going to be open. There's a pass where it goes right through the hands of the Steelers defender. There was no way that he was going to react that fast to it. There's another one where he literally puts the ball out, tucks it in, turns, and just chucks it. And that seems to be by design. So seeing the rushing numbers being what they are, but still being able to use the play action has been very helpful for Caleb in his progressions. I genuinely have nothing bad to say about his performance except what Miller kind of reiterated. There's some throws that were high, and sometimes you want to see a little soft touch, but I feel like he doesn't know what soft touch is, and he just wants to bullet the pass. So, I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is, because he struggled early. He definitely did the first 2 drives. He really struggled, missing just easy rudimentary throws, but then he really picked it up, and in the second half he was really good.
But you know what? I don't know if you guys brought this up, I apologize. And it's probably taken me this long to kind of realize this. Yes, it's Ben Johnson, new system, but it's almost like he's progressing as if it was his rookie year kind of deal. Like you see him kind of get better and better. I remember training camp, everyone was so worried about how long he was going to hold the ball. And now we're at a point where he's on a play action and he's just chucking it. So you see the improvement there. I do believe this has been very, very nice to watch as a Bears fan that has had issues with quarterbacks.
This is his first year getting coached, remember?
Oh,
You're
not wrong.
There definitely seems to be some consistency about how this young quarterbacks get criticized. If you listen to McCarthy, and he looks horrible, JJ McCarthy up in Minnesota, but he's getting the same, like missing wide open guys, like not reading plays, obviously making some bad throws, and that's in there. That's making him worse. But the criticism seems very consistent, because JJ, if you really think about it, it's his rookie year. He didn't get to play last year, right? So the progression they're on is very similar.
Please don't say that. Please don't fucking say that. Did you watch the Minnesota game? He looked
did not.
horrible.
I did not. I just saw the highlights, and
He looked horrible. Do not
I'm-
have those 2 quarterbacks in your mouth at the same time.
Oh my God! Oh, you can have him in your mouth anytime, Miller. I'm sorry, I took it away from your mouth. Jesus Christ!
I don't want you to be comparing our quarterback to JJ
Hey,
McCarthy.
All I'm saying
Hey,
is
Miller,
the national media, they are saying the same things about.
No,
JJ
they're not.
Watt.
I haven't heard.
Hold on, I want to, because that was such a great joke. I don't want to go away from it. Miller, if there's 100 dildos on the walls, how many would you choke on?
0.
You dirty dog. You don't know the meme. You don't know the meme. All right, I got it set up for that one. That was perfect. Thank you for that. Now, speaking of putting stuff on a wall, which that was a horrible transition, we have a new segment to introduce. We are going to give out game balls, but not just we as a trio of positivity. One specific person in the trio is going to do it. We have Bhupen's balls. I don't have a jingle yet. We'll
Aww.
try to figure it out.
better best, never let it rest. Hey, hey, hey.
There you go. Bhupen, give your balls away.
I I need them, but okay. Here we go. People. What a game. You know? What a game. We overcame obstacles everywhere, and we got the dub. We got a dub when people like Bhupen doubted us. We got the dub. So let the doubters and the haters let them put shades on right now, okay? The third game ball goes to DJ Moore, okay? Sometimes he falls asleep, doesn't do shit, gets 0, 1 catches here and there. He came up with 2 TDs that were clutch in coming up with giving us the lead, making sure we did what we needed to do in offense. The second game ball, man, this guy needs something bigger than just this ball, but Nashawn Wright, he's playing out of his freaking mind. Best interception of the day, probably the best of the week from what I've seen so far. He gave us the boost. I don't know if I'll go that far. I haven't seen all of them, but heck of interception. More importantly, gave us the boost we needed. And he's done that repeatedly, right? He's leading the league in interceptions. Shout out to the guy. Game ball to him. First game ball. There's lots of people that deserve this, right? Caleb with 3 TDs is in running. The offensive line, 4 out of 5 who are in like top 10 rated O-line right now in the NFL. But I think the first game ball goes to Dennis Allen, our defensive coordinator. In the last 2 games, he's taken an injury-depleted unit to show up and compete at a very respectable level. I have some more stats we'll talk about in a minute, but man, like I don't know. You guys probably were better in not doubting the Bears, but I had my doubts this week, especially with like no linebackers, majority of the cornerbacks on the shelf. Man, like I really doubted him. That man got the team to show up, pretty respectable, even when we lost people during the game. He deserves a game ball for sure. Thank you.
And that was our newest segment, Bhupen's Balls. Let us know who you want to give your balls to in the comment section. This should be an interesting segment moving forward. So let's go ahead and transition. Let's talk about this offense for a little bit. I guess we can all agree it was inconsistent. Even though we did put up 31, there was only 63 yards by our running backs. How would you guys rate the overall performance of this offense? Let's start with Miller.
Bhupen wanted to give the game ball to Dennis Allen. I would like to give a damn game ball to Ben Johnson if I had the opportunity, because what he is doing for this team, not to mention just the overall change of culture, but just watching the game, like I mentioned earlier, the inconsistency of Caleb Williams, but it's like a fucking MLB hitter, and it's just like Caleb misses a wide open pass over the middle that would have gone for 10 yards. Well, you know what Ben Johnson does? He schemes another wide open 20-yard play that Caleb hits, because he's spitting 50% out there. So it's just like what Ben Johnson is doing is just out of this world with the play calling, and he's whatever Caleb does, all the mistakes Caleb made, Ben gets through it and charges through it. And the other thing about this game in particular, Ben Johnson always talks about the first down of the drive initiates the offense. And it has never been more evident than it was in this game. We had 5 drives where we had no first downs, and we had 6 drives where we got that first down, and those 6 drives resulted in 31 points. So it's always about that first down with this team, and Ben Johnson, just what he's doing as the coach is just crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that didn't really talk too much about this game. You're kind of talking about overall. I'm so glad that we're all on a point with this agenda. It's fantastic, really.
This didn't talk about this game. I literally just laid out 11 drives from this fucking game.
How
not
would you
what he
rate
thought.
their performance was the question. And you want to give a game ball when we talk about
So you want me to do the
what it is.
positivity score now too?
No, we're still not there yet, brother. We're not there yet.
Mom and dad are fighting again.
Here's the thing with this offense. This offense, it's giving people reason to say that we're 8-3 as an excuse. That we're 8-3, we're winning the games that were scheduled for us. It is what it is. The offense sometimes looks great, and then the offense sometimes looks bad. and we still win games. How long can this hold? We talked about this a couple weeks ago. We said it shouldn't hold for as long as it's holding, and now we're 8-3. The one thing that people are going to start to realize now is that the Bears, we didn't think were a playoff team at the beginning of the year. Now we have to talk about, can the Bears actually make a push for the number 1 seed? That is going to be the next conversation. And can this offense get to a point where you can have the 1 seed? Because we're pretty much in on the playoffs. Bhupen said it. We are now at 69% of making it with this win. It's going to be very hard for us to kind of go down. I do see some more wins in the future. Can we get a 1 seed? I don't know. This offense is inconsistent, even though we had a great performance by CW. There's still some things that I wish we could improve upon.
Yeah, no, agreed. Like, running game did not do what it's been doing for us consistently. Like, they take over games, they've been like setting the groundwork for us to build on, and that didn't happen this time. And honestly, that's gonna happen, right? Pittsburgh has some really good defensive players. They, really good coach. I expected them to do more. I'll be honest with you, but they did like take the run game away, and it seemed like that was their plan. But what I'm proud of, and I don't want to like silver line this too much, is we overcame that, right? We kind of like flipped what we do every day, what we do well every week. We flipped that and still found a way to win. I think it was a character building win. I've said this over and over again. We were depleted. We were supposed to lose. Everything on. If we had lost this game, people would be like, "Yeah, okay, the magic is over." They would have said that, but I think that was one of those games, and the fact that they overcame that, I'm proud of this team.
Yeah, at one point, Caleb threw the ball, I think, 18 straight times.
That just shows confidence in the quarterback. I think any other time that we've seen that, I mean, sometimes we question the play call, but if I'm trying to word this in a way that I want to ask you guys, if Caleb was not performing, no, see, that's not going to make sense. Never mind. I was going to try to
that
phrase
was
it.
something positive for Caleb.
No,
Go
no,
on,
no.
please.
It was going to be more or less like, let's say like he is more accurate or something like that. Like, would the offense improve with his accuracy? The run game, I think, is still an issue, but the O-line looks great. So it's like,
Run game is not a fucking issue, dude. We're like the number 1 running team in the NFL. Calm down.
How many yards did we have this game?
99. We had one rough game against a stout Pittsburgh front that is better up front than they are in the back end. So calm down about shitting on this running game every fucking week.
Listen, the stats prove it. We said
No,
over
they
100.
don't.
Over
Go
100.
look at the stats. They don't prove
Over
that
100.
running back.
Over 100.
They do not prove that we're a bad running team.
I'm not saying that we're a bad running team. What I'm saying is that we're not consistent. That goes to what I'm saying.
Your wording, and we are consistent. Jesus,
Chris,
we've already been over
How
this.
do you say we're consistent and then we say we have one bad game?
Chris, they had a really
Consistency
good game plan.
doesn't mean you hit your mark every fucking time.
They did not hit
80% of the time is good enough to be called consistent in terms of running.
They did not hit the fake line that Chris drew on the land. That's at 100
Thank you.
yards.
I'm glad someone that's understanding.
Doesn't exist anywhere in the world. Just in Chris's mind, they did not it's drawn in like freaking chalk, and no one hit it 1 week. He's sad. Let him be sad. It's okay.
All right, so we talked about the offense, and Miller kind of elaborated a little bit. What has Ben Johnson brought to this team with this 8-3 Bears team?
The attitude, dude. The will to win. I couldn't say good things about the staff, man. Like, we are decimated, right? Close games which we have lost time and over year, we are winning those, right? Like, and I that just doesn't happen overnight. These people believe, they play for each other. Like, even when the big names are not out there, they refuse to quit. Man, they play with their heart. Like Miller said, that man has like changed the culture, and we like hear this so often. Like, this is truly a different team from where we were a year or two ago, and that the credit only goes to that man.
I don't know how I feel about saying only, but Miller, your thoughts?
Creativity and offensive prowess. Yes, it's only him. Yes, just suck it up and say it's only him because he's done it.
I mean, Virginia is no longer here. Who would you give credit to?
Jesus. No, not Jesus. Not Jesus. I'm just amazed
Jesus?
amazed at this comment. All right. I'm just going to not give my thoughts on that. All right, let's move on over to the defensive side of the ball. How would you guys rate the performance against the Steelers? What stood out to you? Miller, start us off.
The defense, it was good. They were playing a backup quarterback in Mason Rudolph. My biggest concern with them
The
is
defense was also backup, by the way. We were also
So-
playing all our backups.
That's fair. That's fair.
Are you going to talk about the text that you sent to the group before the game?
That I was concerned because all of our linebackers were gone.
That you have no faith? Fake
No,
fan.
but-
Continue.
Hey, I said this on this podcast and I got called out for it. So
The defense played fine. I mean, the biggest thing with them was getting those turnovers, which they've done consistently. It seems like every game we're getting at least 2 turnovers, and it's just fantastic. My concern comes with the running game that they allowed. Obviously, a lot of that was on the Gainwell fake tush push, if you will, but the running game did gash us a little bit. I think it was like 180 yards or something like that. But for the most part, they held the wide receivers in check. They held the offense in check. So it was a pretty solid outing.
I second that. Looking at the scoring drives in the third quarter, these are all Steeler possessions in order: punt, fumble, touchdown, punt, and down turnover on downs. This defense got us a win. We didn't have to rely on the offense for the first time, and being depleted as we were, I was very happy and proud of the fact that the defense got us the win and kept us basically kept the Steelers in check. I mean, you guys kind of hit all the points, so
yeah.
kudos to.
I'll only give one stats: 9 sacks and 5 interceptions in the last 4 games, while being decimated. So props to them.
Injuries. Yeah. Now, we talked a little bit about offense and defense. Let's talk about the grand wizard who put all of this together.
Woo!
Ryan Poles has been making rounds again on the Twitter sphere and some Reddit. Are we kind of ready to say that his choices have helped the Bears make an impact this year? Bhupen.
Ben, close your ears. Yes, I believe so. Guys, we've been some bad habits here, right? We all want Burrow and Stroud and Daniels, who they come in right away and click right away. Yes, would love to do that, but those are 3 draft picks out of 300 that get picked every year, right? That's hard to do. We were quick to doubt his picks. Yes, he has really bad misses in the past, and we need to hold him accountable for that. Chase Claypool. But this draft and some of the picks he's made, especially free agency, they're all I'm not saying they are game changers, but they're playing their part in this bigger picture, which I'm really happy to see. Shout out to Ozzy Trapillo, who played pretty meaningful snaps at left tackle this game too.
I think the Chase Claypool stuff it's 3 years. Let it go. It's over. We can't keep bringing that shit up.
Yeah, you can. That's how you judge a fucking performance.
From 3 years ago and comparing to a new head coach that's in here now, I
When
don't
you
know.
judge a performance of a general manager, you take into consideration the entire book, if you will.
Yeah.
You don't
I feel
judge
like
it
you're going to
based
get
on this
judged
last
more on
year.
your misses than your hits. But Miller,
Fair.
go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. But I was just giving a one way here. But go ahead, Miller. Sorry, and then we'll keep talking.
I mean, bottom line is some of the picks that he's made recently, it's finally making some impact plays. We are finally seeing Sweat kind of be what we expected when we signed him. Brisker, we know what he is. He's a great safety. He made some plays down at the end of the game, but he does have his concussions. I echoed this before. He still doesn't have a lot of draft picks that have been successful without Ben Johnson. Let's be real about that. So, I mean, there's
don't know.
still a lot to be desired here for him.
If you're judging
I mean,
the whole
you're talking about free agency. He pretty much signed the worst free agent this year in Adengbo. So I don't know how you're talking about. You're talking about CJ
I can
Gardner
probably find
Johnson.
you worse than that. I can probably find you worse than that.
Please try.
Okay.
Please,
I
don't
think
try to find a guy that got paid $18 million a year and didn't have one stat.
Brandon Cooks got paid $7 million in New Orleans, and I bet he didn't even catch one ball.
That's
Like,
7. That's 11
just
million
take-
left. I'm just saying, like, yes, he got CJ Gardner Johnson, but that wasn't like a big free agent signing. That was a guy that you picked up off the street. Give him credit for it. I'm not taking it away, but like
like
the free
Nation
agency
Wright,
stuff.
like Bayard, like these are all his picks that are like working. out
Bayard
well.
was a good one, and Nation Wright, yeah, he's had a good year this year. I mean, but you can't just again. This is most of these are under Ben Johnson. All these draft picks we said at the time, Ben Johnson directed these draft picks. It was not Ryan Poles.
We still don't know that. Everyone
Oh,
makes that
fuck
comment.
yourself.
We can't. Now let me ask you a question. Hold on. Let me just ask this question. Hold on. Let me just ask this question. Hypothetical, of course, because that's how I love to live my life. Bears win the Super Bowl. We're still going to bring up Claypool.
Yeah.
I can let it go if we win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would let it go. Miller just seems to want to live in the
Wait,
past
like,
over dumb shit that was happening.
No.
but-
But like Miller, my question for you is like, do you think defensively too, it's Ben Johnson picking the guys? Is Dennis Allen at least? Do you
Great
think-
question.
I think it's
Because-
Ben Johnson. I mean, let's be real. Ryan Poles has his finger on the pulse and he's included in it. But like most of the draft picks was offense. Defensive related, it definitely comes down to Ben Johnson. I'm sure they're all together. Ben Johnson, Dennis Allen. I would almost argue that Dennis Allen has more say on the defense than Ben Johnson, just because if you listen to Ben, like when he talks, he doesn't meddle with the defensive side of the ball. He focuses on the offensive side of the ball, which is good for a head coach.
You remember when we had Flus and we were kind of talking about that, where Flus was handling the defense and he didn't meddle with the offense, and now we're seeing the opposite, but both sides are kind of seeing success. It's crazy for me to think that a coach can kind of have that effect, but like we see it with the offense with Ben Johnson when we didn't see it with Flus on offense. I just find that very intriguing because
Well,
that same
we kind of
comment.
saw it with Flus. He
No,
was good
but
at his defense.
He was
The
good at his
was
defense,
really good.
but the
Problem is
last
the
year,
offense sucked.
that's what I'm saying. The last year when we had Caleb there and we were seeing this offense being what it was compared to Ben Johnson's first year with Caleb, seeing the difference. So that's I've seen that get brought up on a couple instances where it's like, hey, imagine when we had Flus and we fired him after all of that, and it's like, yeah, I mean,
But let's also remember that Ryan Poles got us Ben Johnson.
Ryan, I remember the conversation we had on an episode, and we're like, we are not getting Ben Johnson. We thought Tom Brady was pulling in all the stops to get him on Oakland, and then the following day, or 2 days later, I think Ben Johnson was announced to the Bears. So you're absolutely right.
Or it was the Wrigley faithful, because remember he did talk about the fact that he used to come to the Cubs games every year with his family.
That
and
is
he
true,
loved the
but also
atmosphere.
that is
Just
true,
think,
but
I
also
mean, if he went to the South side, he
Listen.
wasn't coming to Chicago.
listen,
Well,
buddy, you say
if
that,
you have a
but
team that doesn't win 100 years and fans still keep showing up, I would also want to coach that team. I mean,
that is a
people
fair
support me.
statement. But you know what's being brought up too, though, is that the Bears are 8-3 since there's been the Chicago Pope, and he's a Southsider. So there's a
That's
lot of
true.
ways we can look at it, and there's sometimes there's way. Let us know in the comments your thoughts on the game. We're gonna get to our positivity score recap. If you don't know what this is we give a positivity score from 0 to 10. We have our ways of judging it. Last week, Miller was at a 7.5. Bhupen was at a strong 7. I stayed put at a 6.5. We're going to start with Miller. Miller, where is your positivity score now for the Chicago Bears?
Trying to do this incrementally, but it's getting to a point where I'm not really comfortable. But I
Say
have
it.
to. I have
Say
to go
it.
with an 8. I have to go with an 8. I mean,
Jesus.
like Bhupen talked about, this game was a pretty big game, and it finally got us on the map. Yes, we played Mason Rudolph, but we had our defensive guys that were out, and we still performed. We beat a winning team, a first place team at the time, and who knows, man.
Bhupen, what is your
Um,
positivity score?
Yeah, I was at a 7. It's hard not to go up after a impressive win. Like, it's probably the first impressive team coaching staff we beat. I'm gonna go up to 7.5.
You guys are being real homers here. I'm going 7. The defense alone is kind of what get it for me being injury prone and not injury prone, but having a lot of injuries and just have that final stand be what it was. Funny enough, Aaron Rodgers saw the illegal formation from far away. There's a video of him doing that, and then there was a tip ball at the end on the fourth down too, so it was great. This was just an all-around win. So let us know your positivity score in the comments as well. It is 0 to 10. Please do not go over 10 unless you have a reason to. We're not going to read it most likely. Just keep it 0 to 10. Let us know your grading scale. But boys, we have an interesting day coming up on Black Friday. It is the NFL's Black Friday game, Bears versus Eagles at Lincoln Financial Field. It is a 2 p.m. kickoff Central Time, which is fucking weird, but all right. The over-under seems to be put at 44.5. The Eagles were favored at 7 to start. They were then dropped to 6.5 and are now back to 7. Jalen Hurts has 17 touchdowns, almost 2,300 yards passing. Barkley has 684, where 4 touchdowns. Some issues with their wide receiving core, but we need to talk about the Bears. What do the Bears need to do to make it 9-3? I'm going to start us off because I never start this portion off, and I'm not going to steal what the other guys are going to say, but the defense needs to hold one more game on a short rest week. If the defense holds the same way that they held against Pittsburgh, we are going to be looking really good. So defense is what I'm putting my priority on. Bhupen, your thoughts?
Ooh, I'm gonna get killed again. Let's see. Their offense has won them some games, but it's been inconsistent. Like the last game, right? They scored 21 in the first half and nothing in the second half. So like it's not been there 100%. I think that Chris hit it on the head. Our defense, our injured defense on a short week, what can they do? It looks like our cornerbacks most likely will be back, even though that's probably still tough with the short week, but they will be back. Our linebackers does not look good for them. So it'll be a big game, big question mark stopping the run. If they can stop the run, I think we're in play, but that's a really tall order with Barkley and Hurts there. But again, that game has not been the same this year. So I will be more positive than last week. There's a chance, but still very tall order.
Miller, thoughts?
Just echoing what you guys said on their defense. Their offense has been very inconsistent. So let's stop there. But also, if I want to focus on the guy that Ryan Poles passed on in the middle on the defensive side of the ball for the Eagles and Jalen Carter. Thankfully, they have a pretty good defensive line, stronger up front when it talks about Jalen Carter. So I'm hoping that these big guys in the middle on our offensive line who have been very good recently can continue that against one of the NFL's best. So we've had our problem with edge players with Max Crosby and TJ Watt last week. Let's see if we can shut down a tackle or if he's going to be a game wrecker. But they have a few good corners as well. It'll be interesting to see how our offensive side of the ball does against their defense.
So speaking of which, we're transitioning to what can the Eagles do. Shout out to my friend Z, who is a diehard Eagles fan. They need to take advantage of big plays against this defense. Pittsburgh, I feel like, kind of did not take too many chances, at least from what I can recall. They have a shot of blowing out this game at home. It's going to be a 2:00 game, which I still don't know why they picked that time, but whatever.
We're the only team playing that day, right?
I believe so, but I believe there's also college football, but I don't know, whatever.
At night, which is why they're at 2:00.
I think so. I think for the Eagles to have a chance, and Miller mentioned this a couple weeks ago, it's like the big yardage play. What did you call it, Miller? You have a saying like big yard play. It was a saying. There was a stat that the Bears, I forget what it's called.
Explosive
plays.
Thank you. I think if the Eagles knock out some explosive plays on this defense, they are definitely going to have a chance to win it. Miller, thoughts?
They're going to do what they're going to do. I don't know, man. I we're not in a very good situation. I could just preach right now. The fact that they just lost embarrassingly to the Cowboys.
They're gonna be
They're
angry.
gonna need to run the ball. Their offense is gonna run the ball. Saquon's gonna run the ball on us. Um, defense is gonna become playing out hard. Yeah, we'll get to it. Just yeah.
I wanted to
Wait,
mention
wait,
for the
wait.
Bears. Oh,
Chris,
sorry. Go ahead.
quickly. The pick that Ryan Poles passed on. I haven't heard his name much this year, so I looked up his stats. He only has 1 sack this year, Jalen Carter. So I don't know. That's what I wanted to say.
I
So
don't think he appreciated.
I don't care. I don't care. But are you not gonna ask me what do they need to do to win?
That was gonna be my next question. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, the defending Super Bowl champions, like Miller said, need to get to the usual game. They have a better offense and defense on paper. They need to get to consistency. They are angry. They'll play angry. Yeah. Again, miracle if we win this game.
Want to bring up one point on the what Bears can do. Play action. If Caleb is doing that great with play actions, we need to do more of that. Also, boys, this game has
GJ revenge game, right?
you
Yeah.
say revenge game like you've said revenge game so many times, and it doesn't fucking matter. I don't know how many times you're gonna keep bringing revenge game up. Zero importance to revenge games.
That's not true.
Mm. Boys, this game has standing implications. Both teams are 8-3 and tied for second in the conference. So whoever wins this game will have sole possession of second in the NFC. Imagine hearing that in fucking week 12 for the Chicago Bears. They're fighting for
Yeah.
the fucking second seed. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. What do you guys think about this game coming up, and how do you feel about it being on Black Friday? It is going to be on Prime, so if you don't have the membership, find the website. All right, let's get into some predictions. We predicted last week, and our records. Miller and I are looking pretty damn good. We have the same record as the Chicago Bears. We are 8-3. We both picked the Bears to win. Bhupen is 7-4, and he picked the Steelers to win, which did not go his way. During preseason, we made some predictions, and we all said that the Eagles would beat the Bears. Let's see if that stands true. Miller, start us off with your prediction. What do you who do you have winning this game?
The Eagles are going to roll. They're going to win, and they're going to win convincingly. I'm going to say 28-17 Eagles.
Yowza. Bhupen, are
Right
you
on
on
the
the same
nose.
train?
Close. I think Eagles definitely win. But I think it's slightly closer than that. I say 24-20.
My God.
Do it, Chris. You
You
can take the
guys-
sole possession
guys
of
are
first
just-
place.
You guys are just sheeps. You guys are just sheeps following what everyone says. You know what it is? We're taking this to win. This is going to be another win. for the
You're
Chicago
so
Bears.
wrong.
But you know what? You know what's going to be? It is going to be a Santos game-winning field goal. I got the Bears 24-21.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Chris, if you're right,
That means,
fucking buy you a steak dinner.
listen, that means
It's on radio.
I think Caleb leads another game-winning drive.
Oh yeah,
Which is
we forgot
weird
about
to
it.
say.
AKA Duvernay runs it back 60 yards and he just
That's
runs
what
the
I'm
ball.
hopeful for. I don't know the conditions. I know I don't know
I
the
think it's supposed to
conditions
be
of
nice.
It's supposed to be nice. Okay.
Well, like 30s or 40s or 50s.
Not snowing,
but not
it's
like cold or
cold.
rainy.
Um,
I don't know, dude. I am scared. I wish the Eagles beat the Cowboys. I think they're going to come out for blood, and I don't know that this team. I mean, I don't want to call what's been happening with the team lucky, but we've definitely been fortunate in a lot of situations, and I think that it's going to run out this game. But the nice thing about that is no one expects us to win. Everybody expects us to lose, so we have nothing to really play for. And even if we do lose, it's not really a big deal.
Well, it can be a big deal if Lions win. I think
It's really not though. Like
It's-
realistically, we control our own fate.
I
We play
think
the Lions and
if
we
the
play
Lions
the
win
Packers
and we
twice.
lose, we don't.
Yes,
they
we do
jump
because we
us.
play them at the end of the year. You dumbass.
That doesn't mean there's still a lot that can happen between that game, though.
But
is what I'm
that's not
saying.
what controlling your own fate means.
Yes,
Controlling
it
your
does.
No, it means that if you win out, and even if the Lions win out, which they can't do, they would lose the last game. We would then jump them. That's what that means.
But don't we want the Packers to win, guys? Because they're a game behind us. Don't we want them to win so the Lions?
I think we do. Yeah.
All of this is going to be a position like this is. I have to look at the schedule, but I do
But no
believe.
one, okay, what I was saying is even if we lose this game, no one's going to be like, "Oh, the Bears aren't real." We're still going to be talked about as one of the best teams in the NFC moving forward, at least for another week.
I don't know how much confidence you said that. I think this
The best
game.
top 5. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Not to kind of get too much ahead, but the following game is at Packers, then Browns, then Packers again, and then 49ers, and then Lions. This
The
is
next
the game
two
that
games, yeah, are clutch. Like at Packers and this, at both away, like these, that is the most important part of the season. If we win one of two, or even if we lose both, there's still a shot. But if we won one of two, man, that would be awesome.
We
The
win
thing
one
is-
of two, we're basically clinched the playoffs. My guess is I don't.
No, because we talked about this before, Miller, and even you brought it up when we were saying like there was 3 possible teams that could come out of the NFC North. Well, you didn't want to mention the Bears as being that team. If the Bears lose and Lions win, they're 8-4, and because the Lions beat us, they jump us, so they're already going to be ahead. Say it.
Play them at the end of the year, Chris.
It doesn't matter because if we tie, and it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. Because it's going to depend on what happens with the Bears and the Packers. That's what's going to matter. The Lions right now have Packers, Cowboys, Rams, Steelers, Vikings before they play the Bears. So they have an easier schedule than
They do have an easier schedule than us. The Packers, I believe, have the hardest schedule remaining.
I'm looking that up as we speak because I do believe you're correct. on that as well.
Also, I think the Lions lost to the Packers beginning of the year, so they'll
They
be
did.
angry.
That is
angry.
correct.
So they'll be
So that's why I
angry.
believe why we want the Packers to win.
Yep, Packers play Lions, and then it's Bears, then Broncos, Bears, Ravens, Vikings, which are the Ravens, that's another whole story that we didn't even get to talk about. The fact that they're
Yeah, you're welcome, Ravens. Because
um,
of us, you're number one.
well, I wouldn't say because of us, but
Literally beat the
Literally.
number 1 team in the division. But hey, you're full. You were hot start and your finish is shit. But it's okay. We're still here. We're still moving along.
listen, I don't understand why you
Chris doesn't believe in stats. He believes in his gut.
No, but I mean, my gut has been fairly accurate this season. You need to explain it to like a kid and to me, like if the Bears lose and Lions win, and you said that the Bears win out, that it's not going to matter. You really don't. We don't think the Bears are going to win out, so that's why that statement is irrelevant. You're saying that it's going to go on the last game. The last game is not going to matter if the Bears lose 3 straight, and then they beat the Lions.
It's a
the Lions are
fucking
going to.
hypothetical situation.
It is a hypothetical, but you can't say
You're
like we
saying that
control
if
our
the
own
Bear-
destiny.
if
That
the
doesn't
Bears-
that doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it does. It's used in sports all the fucking time. It means that you have full control of what happens with your season. And even if they lose this game, they do. Because if they win out, which is in their control, right? They can kind of determine if they win or lose a little bit. Yeah. They have full control. They're not relying on somebody else to lose in order to win, to get in. They can still win out. Even if we're tied with the Packers, we're tied with the Lions, we're still tied with them. And
I
if
don't know.
we beat them and we win all the games and beat them, control our own destiny, we'll get in the playoffs.
I just feel like
Uh,
the fact that we're saying that the Bears could win both games against the Packers. I still don't know how I feel about that. That's where I'm standing on this thing.
I'm
Says-
just saying, this
Says
game
the guy that just picked the Bears to beat the Eagles,
on the road.
defending Super Bowl champions. Dude,
Defending
you
Super Bowl
are-
champions means shit.
It means something.
Yeah, okay, it means nothing. Sorry.
No, they've said it themselves. The Eagles said it themselves.
Of
Doesn't
course
mean
they
anything.
said it themselves.
So if
They're
the players don't
fucking
fucking care, why
players.
should I? If the
Oh
players
my
don't care
God.
that they're not that they're
they have a
the
fucking
defending champions, why
Lombardi.
should I?
Because it
They
still
have a
means that their team's
Lombardi.
good.
Find it irrelevant. All right, let's. Speaking of other irrelevant things,
I
Guys,
told you,
after
he
after the
started
episode,
strong and he's just fucking crashing.
after the episode, I'm gonna like fucking show them how numbers work.
listen, I just find it very hard to believe. Like, you guys are gonna sit here and say, given the history of the Bears, you think the Bears could win both games against the Packers?
No. Do I think the Lions are going to win out? No. What does
Oh my
it
God.
fucking
All right.
matter?
Let's get into
Do you
the
not
fantasy.
understand how this works?
Wait,
I
do you
just-
understand a hypothetical? What that means?
I understand the hypothetical, and that's why I'm saying the hypothetical is that you guys think the Bears will beat the Packers
It's
both
a
games.
hypo fucking thetical,
Yes,
bro.
you still have to look at it that way. Why is this an issue?
So it's not real. We are assuming. We are hoping they win. That's
I'm
hypothetical.
just saying they're gonna play every game and they have a chance to
God.
win
All right.
every game.
I'm done. Let's get into the fantasy recap. This is the dumbest conversation I think we've had in a long
Yes.
time.
You are making it very dumb.
No, I'm not.
Trust me, you
What?
are.
It's 2-1. How are you?
It's 2
Okay.
against 1, and you both are wrong.
Yes,
All right.
yes. Numbers
Bhupen,
are
Give
hard.
us a fantasy recap. Let's start with injuries.
Fuck.
Oh God, like, I don't know if I can do this right now. Okay. Ooh. All right. It wasn't a terrible week on injury wise, and none of the teams are on bye this week. So hopefully your team is, basically geared up for the playoffs or out of it at this point. The top ones to probably look into quarterback wise was Baker Mayfield hurt his non-throwing shoulder. Looks like it's non-throwing. He should be good to go, but he might be less mobile, taking less risk. It's basically a pain tolerance thing from what I've heard. That's the quarterback injury. JJ McCarthy is concussed, but not sure if
Well,
it's
that's a good thing.
I know. Not sure if he's concussed or benched, but he completed the game and I was concussed. So wink, wink, he's concussed. Running back injury. Alvin Kamara looks like he will be out this week, and like they're talking about IR possibly. End of the season, they have nothing to play for. These are like probably smaller issues. They'll probably play this week, but both Genti and Judkins left the game. Ashton Genti, the running back from the Raiders, and Quinton Judkins, the running back from the Browns. They left the game, but they're expected to play this week. But keep an eye out if you have them on the team. Wide receiver wise, T. Higgins is out this week. They play on Thursday. Couple of other injury situations that are probably good to monitor is DK Metcalf was in and out of the game. Again, looks like he will play this week, but keep an eye on that injury report. Rashi Rice too has a hamstring thing, but he's expected to play. He was limited in Monday's practice. Some good news injury wise. These people were out in week 12, but they're likely playing week 13. Quarterback Joe Burrow for the Bengals, quarterback Aaron Rodgers for the Steelers, Josh Jacobs, running back for the Packers, Trey Benson from the Cardinals, Bucky Irving, Isaiah Pacheco, Irving from the Tampa Bay, and Isaiah Pacheco for the Kansas City. All running backs, mostly expected to come back and play this week. Quick hitter in waiver wires. I'll probably give you a name each. Just keep an eye out because waivers probably run by before you listen to this episode. But in case you catch it, Brissett is still out there in a lot of leagues. With the Cardinals, he's heartless. He throws 50 times a game. Make sure you have a good fantasy day. I'm starting him in a couple of leagues. If you need him, he's still out there in about 50% of the leagues. Running back wise, Devin Neal will be filling up for Kamara. Again, he won't be like slam dunk RB1, but someone you can keep an eye on. Chris Rodriguez from the Commanders is coming back from the bye too. He had a bigger role right before the bye, so there's a good chance he will give you again RB3, RB2, top end value. Wide receiver wise, there may be some value here. Andre Yosevas from the Bengals he replaced Chase last game. He'll be replacing T. Higgins this game. Had a decent game. Troy Franklin coming back from the bye as well. He was on fire right before he went on bye. Chimere DK is another guy you can look up from the Tennessee Titans. I know Tennessee Titans and fantasy don't jive, but that man had a punt return touchdown and another touchdown, I believe, last game. He's been on fire. someone to look into if you're desperate in wide receiver. Colston Loveland is probably the best tight end pickup out there. Brenton Strange came back from IR, had a decent game for the Jacksonville Jaguars. If you're desperate, this is probably the best defensive week out there if you need somebody. You have like probably 4 teams you can pick up and play. You can pick up the Chargers, who play the Raiders. You can pick up the Falcons, who play the Jets. You can pick up Miami, who play the Saints. Or you can pick up the Jaguars, who play the Titans. Any of those plays should be a decent floor play. People, any thoughts? Anyone I missed?
I'm still riding high on my New England defense pick. I think they also had another great week.
They haven't been good the last few weeks.
I think they got like over 10 this week, didn't they?
This week they had a touchdown. So
I'm still. Where are they ranked right now? What's their? Do anyone know off the top of their head?
defense,
Yeah, the defense.
not good. I
Yeah,
mean,
it
from a
hasn't
fantasy
been-
perspective.
probably top 10.
Yeah. Like defensive wise, there hasn't been like, in fantasy you get like 20 15 points defensive. There hasn't been many of those plays, at least not the run the
I was gonna say, I know like
ones.
Pittsburgh was a high number when the fantasy league started. I can't recall who was the other defense. that was-
Denver and Seattle are the 2 good defenses.
and
'Cause
from
they get the sacks.
Like
but the
Houston
beginning of
is
the
on fire right now.
Houston too.
but the beginning of the year, who were the heavy favorites of the defensive, and are they there now?
Denver, Ravens,
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
I think
Oh, yeah,
Texans
no,
were up there
Minnesota's
too.
there.
No, Texans
Interesting.
like I don't know. Minnesota people are really high on, and
Yeah.
it's pretty like funny how bad they are considering how great they were last year.
All right, and that
JJ
is
McCarthy.
the fantasy section.
We need
let
to
us know in
wake
the
up 9.
comments.
Wake up 9.
I don't know what that means.
Oh man, look, be on the internets. That's his alter ego supposedly. When he like takes over games, it's called 9. That's his persona.
Okay, I was gonna
Yes.
ask about that. I've heard about that a lot, but I didn't know. I knew it was associated with him. I didn't think it was like directly associated with him.
I just want to ask him what game because he didn't do much in college either. So when did
Probably the
9 come out?
I mean, he
wanna-
only won a national championship, but yeah, he didn't do
Okay.
anything.
He was
Yeah, but
running
apparently
the.
that doesn't matter because he's sucking it up in the NFL.
Well, you said the defending champion doesn't count. So what does this matter?
I mean, that stays within line. Like I don't know what to tell you. All right, boys, great
Exactly.
episode
So
today.
Ryan Poles it doesn't matter if he wins the Super Bowl. Still-
You're talking about a quarterback, and then the office side of things. I think that's 2 different things.
Exactly.
Hypothetically,
proving
though,
my
guys,
point? You're just saying shit to say shit. What were you gonna say, Bhupen, before we end it?
hypothetically, let's end the show. That's all I
You're an
have to
idiot.
say.
All right. Boys, we have to figure out what we're doing for our schedule since this game is going to be on Friday. We'll talk about that offline, but thank you guys so much for listening. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Give us some comments. We'll try to share them at the beginning of the episode next week. With that, we are going to call it a night. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Well, that's the wrong jingle. We got to go back to this one. Maybe someday in the near future we can have some positivity coming out of Chicago sports with the 8-3 NFC North leading Chicago Bears. But until then, we are going to suffer together in misery with all the hypotheticals possible. On that note, we say goodbye. Good night. Bye-bye.
Gobble gobble.